what's going on, guys?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, hey.
I'm
Uh,
just investigating your background here.
oh, all VHS. Yeah, very cool. Thank you. So I want to get right into it, man. Great performances. Director Benjamin Brewer mentioned the close bond, between the brothers as a central theme. How did you guys work together to convey that bond, make it authentic, as authentic as can be on screen?
I don't think finding bond was too difficult for us. I mean, I think we got super lucky and we hit it off. Jaeden is obviously an actor that I knew about growing up. He's a few years older than me. His career is one that I grew up admiring. So I knew he was going to be a phenomenal actor, and I had that trust, knowing that I was going to go there and know that the person who I would be having the majority of my scenes with was going to be someone I could learn off of so much immensely. But he also, James, a great person, and I think everyone who meets him will say that. He's super selfless and such a generous person and scene partner. So, we kind of got right into the work when we got there in rehearsals, and I think that was a great way to establish our bond. And we were really isolated in the woods for a long time.
Yeah.
So we were really each other. My mom was there, and your girlfriend was there, and your mom came and visited. So it was really our families that just we were the only people that hang out with each other. So we kind of became a family.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
I mean, yeah, a lot of it is revolving around these brothers' dynamic, and they're twins, but I think they both feel like the older brother, in their heads, and it's kind of just this contrast between someone who's very emotional, someone who's very logical, or emotional and impulsive and logical, strategic. But I mean, man, I got so, yeah, I feel like we got so lucky. We got along so well. Like I love this kid. I don't know. I want us to be in each other's lives for the rest of it. I'll always have love for him. And that's special, and that's kind of. So
I think it's rare. I don't have many friends my age or close to my age in this industry, mostly because I've worked with older people, and I think when you grow up in this world, I mean, I was super lucky to kind of live two lives, one at home in Chicago, public school and everything, but also you're always playing someone's kid, or you are the kid of the show, because it's hard to deal with all the kids on the show. That's not so many hours that you can work in a day. So I was really grateful to that. The people around my age that work, especially you, have been great people and people who I've had in my life for a long time.
That's awesome, man. I've done many of these, right? And that, I mean, like you guys, and that was probably one of the most sincere answers that I've ever heard. And it makes the film that much more enjoyable for me. So thank you for putting yourself out there and sharing that with me. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, makes you better.
This film is set in a dystopian future where the world, obviously has been decimated. How did the film's setting, and premise, shape your approach to your characters? Because the setting itself is a character in itself. And did that really kind of help you guys kind of get into that mode? You mentioned you were kind of just lost, are stuck in the woods for a while. Did it help you get in that headspace?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, Ireland's a beautiful country, but and we were a couple hours south of Dublin, very isolated, and it got lonely at times. It's a gray place, gray, like literally, and that kind of that isolation, but that beauty also helped. I mean, I can't describe how much the props, the set deck, the costumes all helped so much create this world, understand what, like, that added so much to the story and so much to the characters of understanding, like, having these little pieces of clothing, this, finding something warm and then having this, like, dress shirt that I might have just found, having that, and all of these gadgets, and it all being very practical and being helpful. Like, oh my God, that helped so much.
Yeah.
So just a little, I actually have that dress shirt.
The dress shirt that he wears, and
He bought it though.
I went out and bought it. You know, it's from me. It's right.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, both of you guys, you know, I worked alongside seasoned actors, and you know, Nicolas Cage is like one that I grew up with. And I know that you guys have probably been asked this a million times today, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. You know, was there, I guess not, I want to know, did you learn anything from him? Like, because ultimately, you guys have been around everybody. And Nicolas Cage, I feel like, especially these days, he's almost like a meme. He's like a very special, he does every genre. He takes on every role and he knocks it out of the park. So I'm just kind of curious as to like your experiences with him personally, kind of like that heartfelt answer in the beginning, but with Nicolas Cage ultimately.
I mean, I think one of the biggest things I took away is how open he is with when you're working on a scene. I mean, I'm someone who's very stick to the script because it's hard to like see the big picture and whatnot. And I worked with a lot of older actors who are very much like that, or very, very rigid with what they're going to give. And when Nick came in, it was him asking questions. It was like, why are we doing this? What is this? What are we trying to say? What's our message here? And what's my character say? And then and that made me ask questions. And sometimes we restructure entire scenes just to find the meaning of it. And he also brought in personal things. And you'd think like, I don't know, you'd think like he'd be precious with giving too much of himself because, you know, he's been working for however long and it's done so many projects. And so you think that his personal experience would be a finite resource, but he came on set and gave that to us, gave that to the story, certain things with the dinner scene. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like bringing himself into it, which is that shit. It's awesome.
Yeah, echoing Jaeden, and also that personal experience was the big thing for me. I think on set I kind of go into it with the physicality and the history of the character, and that's my way in. And with those two things come, you know, you're trying to separate the character from you, and you're trying to learn, like, what does this character know? Not what I know. What does this character know? How does this character move through the world, emotionally and physically? And the thing about Nick is he did bring in some of the personal moments. And I think that's a big takeaway for me is that there are experiences that you have just by living life and being a normal person that that can color your characters in a really unique way. I love creating people and telling stories, and I love, I mean, I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, that's my thing. It was like playing pretend. But there is elements of real life and personal experience that can help you in that. And I think Nick does that expertly and balances it really well. And taught me a lot about that.
Awesome. Well, amazing performances, guys. Again, I appreciate you being so candid. You know, amazing careers so far and filmographies. I can't wait to see what happens next. So thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you, man.